Yo, what's up? Yo, me, DMC, and the place to be, and the only place for you to be is right here watching Hard Knocks magazines on QPTV, the place to be.
Ow.
Today on Hard Knocks Magazine, Louis Gasparo goes upstate to Kingston, New York for the second annual Burning of Kingston, hosted by Astoria native Sacha Jenkins. Then Jonathan Duran heads out to the Boogie Down Bronx to parlay with one of the founding fathers of hip-hop music and culture, the coolest of them all, Cool DJ Red Alert. Then Rebecca Gitana pays homage to the king of rap, DMC from the group Run-D.M.C, stops by at Kingsborough Community College in Brooklyn, New York, to talk about his past with the legendary group and his newest venture, his own superhero comic book.
It's all writing. Like if I'm writing an article or working on a book or writing a script for a television show or a film or writing music, it's all writing. It's all sort of using ideas I have and connecting them.
We meet Sacha Jenkins. He's a filmmaker, a musician, writer, and creative director for Mass Appeal magazine. He's also the mastermind behind the Burning of Kingston, a family fun-filled event where the greatest graffiti artists do battle, using a full-size New York City subway car as their canvas. Louis and Sacha trek across the winding tracks of the New York Trolley Museum in Kingston as Sacha opens us up to the artistic culture that has been around for over 40 years and counting.
Louis Gasparo, welcome to another episode of Hard Knocks. We are in Kingston, New York for Burning of Kingston, Part 2. New York City subway cars being painted by 8 world-renowned graffiti artists. They're gonna be burning this train with style. New York City style, that is. We're gonna check out Sacha Jenkins, the guy who put this whole thing together. Dig it. Sacha, I gotta ask you, man, what made you get involved with this on such a great level? Like we have the Trolley Museum, there's a New York City subway here. How do you know, what's going on?
Well, I mean, I really love the area. I think Kingston has so much history, so much American history happened in the city. The Burning of Kingston, which this event references, is a real historical event from America's past. You know, the Redcoats on their way marching out of Kingston in 1777 basically burned the entire city down, and right over there is the Hudson. So they made their way right past here, right to the Hudson River, and got on boats and got out of here. So it's a play on a real historical event. Yeah, well, burning in graffiti terms means a superior, work of art. So the Trolley Museum, I've been seeing this train here for years. Introduced myself to the folks who were on the board and explained to them what I wanted to do. Initially there was resistance because graffiti for so many years has had this negative stigma attached to it. But I think, when they finally said, let me give this guy a chance, and we did these events, they were extremely successful. Some of the most successful events they've had in their 40-year history, and it brought people out, it created awareness, it raised money. Can the winners of last year's event please raise their hands? Okay. Last year, you guys, let the leader of the team come up. All right. Come back here. Come behind with turntables on, my man. Come back here. And so to work with an institution that honors the legacy of American transit and then also acknowledges this art history that evolved out of American transit, right. Is such a great combination of ideas and histories.
It's kind of ironic as well that an art form that really, was indigenous to New York at the time, that's kind of started on trains, is actually saving a museum that has trains in it.
Well, I hope so. I mean, we're trying to raise money. We need as much money as we can get, but it's brought new life to the museum and new attention. At least brought people who weren't necessarily just train buffs to the museum. And so it's a great combination because the folks who love trains just for trains and the folks who love graffiti and graffiti on trains are very similar in terms of, you know, the love and respect. I mean, people will say, well, graffiti artists are defacing trains, but really these graffiti artists have so much love and respect for the trains. It might sound crazy, and sharing their art and their expression on the train was their way of showing their appreciation. And of course, not everyone's going to agree with that, and it doesn't matter here because this train has been mothballed and out of service for so many years, and it's the only place in the world where you can paint an authentic New York City subway car, and that's why so many people come.
I think it's tremendous. I mean, I can't think of another place that's actually doing this, you know, in the world, like you just said. But I want to jump a little bit forward. And like, you're a man of many, many forms of expression. You're a filmmaker, you're a writer, you're an artist, you're a musician. What is your favorite form of expression? Well, like, what do you get the most joy out of, you know?
It's all writing. Like if I'm writing an article or working on a book or writing a script for a television show or a film or writing music, it's all writing. It's all sort of using ideas I have and connecting them. The interesting thing that I find is in a lot of these projects I have to work with people. And so I also like collaborating because you sort of get the benefits of the best of what other people bring to the table, and those people also help you to step up your game.
Hanging out with people who were doing the things that you looked up to, like you liked graffiti, you liked hardcore, you liked film, so you got to collaborate with people in that field and you learned from them. So it was 100%. Like hands-on training.
100%.
Well, growing up in New York in the 70s and 80s, the term that was very popular was fresh. And working with that term and remembering what the idea of fresh meant and connecting it to fashion. You know, fresh meant something that was fresh out of the box, something that was new and clean, and connecting that idea to the bigger ideas I wanted to explore in the film made the title feel right for me. Well, I first personally met Dapper Dan doing this film. I wasn't financially fit at the time. My money wasn't right back then, largely because I was a young man, so I couldn't really afford Dapper Dan, but I knew him from his work, from iconic album covers like Eric B. and Rakim, from music videos, from the drug dealers in my neighborhood who actually could afford his clothing. So there was always the legend of Dapper Dan. There'd always been stories about Dapper Dan, but I had never personally met the man until I had the privilege of interviewing him for the film, and he is a man full of many sound bites.
How it works is we have a theme that you guys don't know what it is. His team won last year, so we're going to flip a coin. He gets to call it however he wants to call it, or he can give you the honors of calling it.
How important do you feel that practicing any of this stuff is for anybody that's coming up trying to do anything in those areas?
I mean, I think that if you don't have access to doing the physical things like I had the access to, practicing is really important, because if you practice and you're honest with yourself, you can see where the mistakes are. And as corny as it sounds, like, the mistakes are the best.
Right.
Like, if you can make mistakes and then own those mistakes, you can improve. If you make mistakes and you lie to yourself
and say it's not a mistake,
and you continue to perpetuate those mistakes, you're never going to improve.
Right.
A big part of anything is like faking it until you make it. Like Spielberg, whoever, like, had to start somewhere. Someone had to say, okay, Spielberg, you've never done this. I'm going to give you an opportunity, right? It's not guaranteed for everyone, but it happens. And when you have that opportunity, you really have to seize it. And even in that first opportunity, you can't go into it being really cocky. You have to be really humble. And the folks who gave you the opportunity might criticize you, and you have to step back and say, you're right, thank you for the opportunity, I'll take note of that. And a lot of people don't take note of that. A lot of people continue to perpetuate the same kinds of mistakes when they get opportunities. And so for me, an opportunity to make a mistake is often good. I've failed many times,
right,
you know, but I've learned from those mistakes, and I've tried to come back and improve on what I set out to do.
We're here with Sess from the Bronx, up in Kingston, New York, at the Burning of Kingston, Part 2. Sess is one of the greatest graffiti artists in the world right now, and he's about to lay waste to this BMT. He's from the IRTs, but he's gonna kill a BMT. Sess, good to see you up here. How do you feel, man? We're in a train yard. You're about to do a piece on a train right in front of people, like legal.
I'll tell you, man, it's a trip. When I got up this morning, it didn't hit me until I was driving 2 hours to get up here.
Right.
And then I realized I got close. I said, what am I going to do? I'm going to paint a train, a real train, like basically in the woods.
Yeah,
with my boys.
Right.
And it's going to be a battle. We're going against 4 other great artists.
Right.
But we came up here to win.
Well, you guys won last year.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We
they're
won
the returning champions.
Exactly. I got room in my car for the prize. All right, so it's a done deal.
I love it. How different do you feel? I mean, it's obviously different, but last year when I was here, we're painting on the train, and a guy came around with a menu. Right, you're in a train yard doing a burner,
surreal.
and a dude comes with a menu for lunch, and you're like, you know, usually it was a different dude coming around doing something else.
I remember that too.
Isn't
yeah.
it crazy how it's turned into this, what it's turned into?
I mean, even just being here and just looking at this train, it's almost
know.
like I feel like I'm dreaming. The train and the trees and the people.
That smell too.
Yeah,
You know,
everything.
the wood, the rocks. I don't see any rats though, because they used to be like,
I smelt the dead rat over there.
Is that what that
before, but
was?
I think that's just like a little spray. They got it in a can now.
right, to give it that authenticity. Yo, Burning of Kingston, Part 2. Hard Knocks, Sess 1 from the Bronx.
See me in the winner's circle.
The most culturally diverse city in the world now has its own show, Culture Express, hosted by Astoria, Queens native Louis Gasparo. Join QPTV and Louis on adventures in Queens and learn more about Queens art, music, history, and its people. Culture Express, only on QPTV.
What's up? I'm Jonathan Duran. Thanks for watching Hard Knocks. We're here in the Bronx on Bruckner Boulevard. Wish 37. We got DJ Red Alert. He's working here right now, working the turntables. We're gonna go check him out. Let's go see it.
Cool DJ Red Alert has been on the scene since hip-hop's inception. His legend grew immensely after being the first DJ to spin the record South Bronx by Boogie Down Productions on Kiss FM. He holds the all-time record for the most appearances amongst all hip-hop artists and personalities in the history of music video.
Once again, big up to my man Mel Star, who's showing his ASS right here in the place to be. LPR. Go ahead, Mel. Can you go ahead and just give it to me one more time?
What's up? I'm here with cool DJ Red Alert.
What's going on, boss?
Just jamming. How you doing, man?
Man, we just finished having a good time right here in the place to be called Wish 37. You know, TKC, the Cool Connection. We just had our green and white affair, you know, honoring one of the members of TKC, Cool G Mims. He just got signed to a record label. So we just do it, yeah, Tommy Boy Records, man. We just having a celebration right here, man. You know, it's a good vibe.
Firsthand.
What's going on? What you want to talk about, man?
Well, first of all, the icebreaker.
Yes,
Red Alert. How'd you get that name?
I got the name from playing basketball. Yeah, no, I mean, I was nice in my time, you know, playing ball, and you know, I was skinny with a big red afro, and my man, big up to my man Dennis, he the one that gave me the nickname Red Alert. So from that, I started getting into DJing, and I started, attaching DJ Red Alert. And I got along with everybody, asked the permission from Cool Herc, I used the name Cool, and became Cool DJ Red Alert.
I also understand that you are a music ambassador for the UN.
Yes, there's some. Well, what it is that the UN had took time to observe my contribution, what I had done over the period of time and years, being open-minded to all different genres of music. So they have brought me in, and there's an organization under the UN where they have people that represent for each different category, and they have me represent for the music.
Oh, and what, they send you on missions or something?
No, they don't send me on missions. They took time to identify and acknowledge what I have brought to the table. So they it's like saying how you in the city get a proclamation from different senators and congresspeople and people in office. Well, that's what they had gave me. They gave me something for ambassadorship.
Have it right storm on 107.5.
Alright, so you still obviously you're heavy in the DJ game. How would you say the DJing techniques have changed over time?
Well, there's one thing I always learned. Time changes, things change around with time. But you still gotta learn to do a combination. Adapt to the changes and bring what you know from before along with the changes. Otherwise, I respect the technology what it is for DJs today. It's not within the vinyl, the turntables. We're into the era where, I'm on a laptop. I don't have to carry records no more. And then here it is, we have the CDJs, you have the controllers, everything, but you don't let the machine control you. You control the machine. You still can bring what you had started with from the vinyl, the turntables, to with the same thing, and learn how to be effective, mixing, blending, cutting, everything, instead of let the machine control you. Right on here. My man Phil Star, the wheels of steel. This is what's going on. I appreciate everybody that come out here for my birthday party. Much love to y'all. Respect to everybody. And just by the way, happy Thanksgiving.
You was there from the beginning of hip hop, and so you know the culture and the message that the culture came with. Today's hip hop, what do you think the message is in today's hip hop?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. The culture of hip hop still is standard. It just went under because the machine, and when I say the machine, I'm talking about company and corporations, filter what's going on today. They grab, water it down, rebuild it, package it, and present it the way they want to for the majority, which is the audience, to think that's what it is. Meanwhile, the efficiency of hip-hop culture have went under without no promotion, and less standards is still there, but not being acknowledged. So that's where I come from, and I learned how to adapt to both. I don't kid one, but you have to still be intact with it and bring what you know where you come from along with it to combine together.
And now you got the Cool Connection.
The Cool Connection that consists of the coolest legend, the Cool DJ Red Alert, right along my sons, Big Rob and Cool G Mims, who just got signed. And the reason why I did this because, it was a little confusion at one point in time because, my two sons, everybody knew my older son was doing promos back in the days on the radio. So when they see the younger one, yo, that's you, he said, that's not me, that's my brother. So I said, you know what? let's form an alliance called the Cool Connection. Everybody have their own identity. Cool G Mills is the artist, I'm the DJ. Big Rob is the businessman that helped put this together today.
Glad I was invited. Yo, DJ Red Alert, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
for
man.
being on our show. Thank y'all for watching Hard Knocks.
Respect to y'all out there. Respect for y'all that been supporting me throughout the years. If you heard me one time or all the time, I appreciate that.
Watch Power Women of Queens, a series that highlights the everyday female decision maker, political leader, manager, and scientist as the norm, not the exception. The women featured are everyday women, mothers, wives, sisters, and co-workers whose actions have contributed to the Queens community.
This is Rebecca Gitana Torres, and you are watching Hard Knocks Magazine. Today, we're going to get to meet Darryl McDaniels, better known as DMC. Darryl McDaniels is a beloved pioneer in hip-hop. He's also one of the founders of the group Run-D.M.C. He's currently a graphic novelist, and I would even say a spiritual teacher.
DMC shared stories of his humble beginnings in Hollis, Queens, New York, to legendary worldwide megastar status, and how his fast track to fame and fortune almost ended his career. In 1984, the trio released their self-titled debut album and became very successful in the hip-hop industry.
He is the king of rock. He is heavy metal. When I say heavy metal, I mean heavy metal, all right? He is a memoirist. This is really important to me. He is an advocate for children and for adoption, which is very significant to his life's work. He's a fitness freak. He's a movie star. He's a comics publisher. And now he is a superhero.
What's up? We are here with the legendary Darryl McDaniels, DMC. How are you feeling right now?
I'm good, I'm good. Just
Yeah?
hung out with the students at Kingsborough Community College in Brooklyn, and it was awesome.
It was awesome. You went on and on, dropping so much knowledge from your personal life to spirituality, creativity. You talked about a lot of goodness.
Right.
What brings all of that passion out in you?
I mean, like I said up there, in the dirt poor ghetto, there's potential, there's good. In this universe, you know, you got all this darkness, all this depression, all this despair, but there's just as much good as there is negativity and evil.
Yes.
But our media, our airwaves, our entertainment always want to present, do stories right, and bring news stories about all of the bad stuff.
Yes.
When if we talk about more good stuff, people looking and hearing would do good stuff.
Something crazy happened. This thing called hip-hop comes over the bridge from the Bronx. Changes my life. I hear the music. I hear what the MCs is saying. I see the breakdancers, the way they dressed, the way they moved. It was like, oh man, superheroes came to life. The graffiti artists, the colors, and the styles were like right out of a comic book. So hip-hop was almost like the comic book coming to life.
It's a shame
Yes.
that you go to a rap show with the, you know, the few that's mainstream like J. Cole and Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? But you don't hear kids in the hood saying, yo, I'm a school kid, I get straight A's, I'm not in the game.
Yeah, you were talking about that, how you infused that into your lyrics early on about what you were really doing.
And it wasn't preachy. Some guys were in the game, some wasn't. We presented both those sides so
Yes.
the audience would say, yo, I don't got to use the N-word, I don't got to use the curse word. You know what I'm saying? Fully clothed female rappers like Muhammadiyah and MC Light and Moni Love and Queen Latifah. So these girls that watch MTV and VH1, they don't see half-naked women running around chasing rappers and athletes.
Yes.
They see fully clothed women, you know what I'm saying, doing creative, artistic, constructive things. We should fully clothed women who are business women.
Powerful.
Right.
Creative.
Right. Running the show.
Doing stuff, yeah.
Instead of not just being in the show. So hip-hop
Absolutely.
showed that.
12, the typical rapper was 12 to 25 years old. And 99% of the records that play on Hot 97 and Power and all these stations, if you would have brought that to me when I was 17, man, get this bullshit out. You would have been challenged to go home and free up. Let's keep it real. You can get it and do it. I'm not saying everything don't gotta do it, but that was the difference between the generations. So Russell says we're gonna do this album, right? So we got It's Like That, Suck MCs is killing the street. The first summer Suck MCs dropped, I hated my own record.
So for those people who are watching out there who are like, yeah, I feel what you're saying, hip hop, there is an imbalance.
Right.
Okay, so now somebody out there who wants to change their vibration, someone who wants to remix the way that they're thinking, what are some tips you offer someone who wants to do that?
First of all, get off the internet, pick up a book. Second of all, educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? And also, hip-hop didn't just create rappers. You could be cool, you could be gangster, you could be loud about it. You could have swag, all of those words, by being marketers, designers, computer programmers, educators, writers, soundmen, cameramen. There's no hip-hop industry if we don't have the components to make it work.
Yes.
We don't need more rappers. We need lawyers. We need doctors. We need directors, designers. A lot of kids think the hip-hop rap making MC, rapper, record maker is the destination.
Yeah,
That's
the glorified
just a small
role.
majority of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got dudes on Wall Street telling me, yo, I'm a financial genius businessman whiz because of Run-D.M.C, the Beastie Boys, and Coogee Rap and Flow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to change the vibrations, we got to change the places from where the vibes is coming.
I wish I would have known more about the business, but the good thing about the little bit that we signed the bad deals when we was doing the distribution and stuff like that, but we was able to completely control our careers.
Women in hip hop, we're like, you know, we're on the side. We're like, you know, whatever.
But you're all there.
But we're all there. Okay, so
Right.
what can we do as women to reclaim our space, our energy in hip hop?
Do what the women did when they said, y'all gonna let us vote. Get out there, team up, march, raise some hell. Raise some hell. Go take your position.
Claim it.
Yeah, go make these corporations. And I understand entertainment has a thing where Ice-T told me, yo, sex and violence will always sell. But are you ready to work hard and wake up every day to sell the thing that you believe in? It could be done. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta make your presence known and demand your positions.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Bam!